Hey, I'm Dan. Thanks for stopping in. Let's jump right into this week's data. New listing inventory increased again this week by 8 new listings from 53 last week to 61 this week. This same week last year, we welcomed 66 new listings onto the market. So the good news is we're still running a deficit over last year. Now let's look at January month end. In January 2020, we brought 237 new listings on the market. That compares to 266 new listings in 2019. That's an 11% improvement. The way to a healthy market is through inventory. The lower the inventory, the better the market. So markets are governed by the law of supply and demand. We just talked about supply. Now let's talk about demand. Regarding demand, I have more great news. Last week we had a disappointing 19 new sales. This week we pushed it all the way up to 26. 26 new sales, that's the exact same number of sales we had this week last year. So we're tracking exactly the same in terms of demand as where we were last year. Now let's compare this January with last January in terms of demand. This January we had 140 new sales. Last January 2019, we had 140 new sales. So our demand is staying strong and inventory is going down. As a numbers and statistics guy, I love seeing inventory drive us to a healthier market. And the good news keeps coming. Let's talk about average sales price. Average sales price this week was up to $685,000. That's up from $380,000 last week. So we had a couple big sales this week. That's more welcome news. The average sale price this week last year was right at $490,000. Let's talk about the average selling price for January 2020 versus January of 2019. January of 2020, the average selling price was $459,000. That's down just slightly from January last year where the average selling price was $466,000. We'll wrap up this week's update with days on the market. Days on the market this week was down to 120 from 178 just last week. But this same week last year, days on the market was 91. And finally, January 2019 versus January 2020, days on the market, up a little bit from 141 last year to 150 this January. I don't think that's a big deal. Thanks so much for stopping in. We'll see you next week.